Hi Rainbow Room. So for today's project, all you need is a sheet of paper and some markers or some crayons. I don't have crayons, so I'm going to use some markers, but if you have crayons or markers, whichever one you can use works. Okay, so if you have your paper, we're gonna make a plant today, the body of a plant, just like in our story yesterday from Dr. Seuss. So I'm just gonna open up to the page where we got to see the whole system of a plant, so we can see it really quickly. Oh, here it is. This is what we're gonna draw today. Since we're in spring and we're learning about the environment and plants and trees. So, if you have a color brown, please find your color brown. You can use a crayon, marker, anything works. Okay, so now the first part of our plant is you're gonna start at the bottom of your page and we're gonna draw the roots. Now the roots kind of look like wavy lines. This right at the bottom of your page, we're gonna do some wavy lines. Just like that. These are our roots. And the roots are so important because they soak up all of the water and nutrients from the soil. And the plant uses that water to grow and make its own food. So now we're gonna go ahead and grab our color green. If you're still working on drawing your roots, that is okay. Take your time. You can always pause the video, and until you're finished drawing your roots, you can push play. I'm gonna add tiny, tiny little roots to my roots, the big ones. Because real roots have really big roots, and then almost like a tree branches, they have tiny little roots that sprout, and they're so thin they almost look like hairs. Okay, so this is my finished roots. Now I'm gonna grab my color green, and we're gonna do the next part of our plant, which is the stem. So the stem is gonna be, you can do like a straight line, or if your line is a little wavy, that's fine. Mine ended up being a little straight. I'm gonna curve it just a little. Okay. You can do it to the tippy top, how far you'd like. There's my stem. Now the stem is important because it takes that water that the roots grabbed and it lets it travel throughout the rest of the plant. And now that is important because once you've got your main stem has smaller stems or branches that break off, and those grow leaves. You can color in the leaf if you like. Just like that. See it? So once you've got your stem, you're gonna draw some leaves. And the leaves are almost like oval shapes. But as we learned in our book, there are different types of leaves. So if you wanna make your leaf a little pointy, make a slightly pointy leaf right here, you can definitely make it a little pointy. This one looks like it's drooping down a little bit. That one's like an oval. You can make it however you'd like, and you can color it in. Take your time. Can't wait to see all my friends' drawings of a plant. Okay. We're gonna draw a few leaves. I drew 4 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some plants have many, many, many leaves, way more than 4. But just for ours, I'm gonna do 4. And now, let's see. I think I'll do yellow. This one you can pick whatever color you'd like. For our flowers, you can do yellow, you can do pink, you can do purple, you can do orange, red, even blue, whatever color you'd like. I'm gonna do some, actually I'm gonna do orange just because the yellow might be too light to see on the paper. So I'm gonna do orange. And once you're done with your stem and your leaves, we're gonna move on to our flowers. Now, most plants have flowers because those flowers hold seeds in them, and when bees come and drink the nectar from the flowers, they take that pollen and they spread it around, and when pollen goes into that seed, it lets a new plant grow. That's why flowers are so important to plants. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my green. And you can make other branches for your flowers, or you can add your flowers to these branches. Okay, so I added 2 little branches there, but you can also add your flowers to the branches where your leaves are on. And now your flower, you can put a little center, maybe, a little center dot, and then you're gonna do your petals. You can make pointy petals, round petals, oval petals. I did some oval ones. I'm gonna make a pointy flower over here. You can start with a little circle, and then you make your points, your petals. I made a little pointy flower on this one. Okay, we're gonna make a few flowers. And some plants even have different colored flowers, not only one. So I'll go ahead and grab another color and make another flower. All right. And you can make as many flowers as you'd like. If you want to go ahead and add more leaves, that's fine too. I think I really like how the orange looks. I'm gonna make a bud on this one. And a bud is a flower right before it blossoms. You can see that tiny, tiny little bud right there. Just like our flower experiment, when the petals were all closed in and then it blossomed open, that's a bud. A bud is when the petals are still curled up in and the flower hasn't opened up and blossomed yet. So I'm gonna do a few buds on my plant too. Some flowers that are going to blossom, but they haven't blossomed yet. So I did some buds. All right, this is great. Now, once your plant is all done, if you haven't finished putting your flowers or your leaves, that is okay. You can pause the video and then we can push play once you are ready. So now that you've got all your parts, I'm going to grab, where is my, I'm going to grab my big black marker. You can use any color you'd like, but we're gonna practice writing each name to each part of our plant. So the bottom, or the base of our plant is the roots. The root system is where the roots live. So roots has an R. It's R-O-O-T-S, roots. And now you can take your time and practice this. I'm going to go ahead and write the names to each part of our plant. And then I will take a picture and send it so my friends can practice writing the name to each part of their plant too. So over here we have our stem, S-T-E-M, stem. And if you ever forget how to write a word, no worries, we can always practice. If you forget how to do the lowercase word, you can always do the uppercase letter. Because I know E is a little tricky for some of my friends, but if we just try to remember, it's a magic C with a little line in the middle. A little line and the magic C. Stem, we've got leaves. 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 We've got our flower. Flower with the letter F. And we've got our tiny little buds. Buds. And now all of this started because of a seed. Oh, my hair got stuck. All of this started because of a tiny little seed being planted. There it is. We've got our roots, our stem, our leaf, our flower, and our buds. Perfect. So I'll send a picture because it looks a little backwards in the video, but you can't wait to see everyone's own drawing of their plant and the parts of a plant. Just like in our book, you created your own page from our Dr. Seuss book. And then, since we've drawn our own plant, we're going to be able to watch our own plants grow. That'll happen in a few days. But for now, we're going to draw ours, and I can't wait to see everyone's drawing.